So it's April 2nd. It's real cloudy and windy and chilly today, and I'm going to be working in the greenhouse most of the day. But I wanted to share this with you guys real quick. This apple tree, which I really should have done a bunch more trimming on last winter, is already almost in full bloom. It's coming out pretty well. And the interesting thing is, I planted this tree and this one at the exact same time. I don't know, 5 years ago, something like that. Notice this tree isn't in full bloom. It's barely starting to bud out right on this edge. Yet this one is in full bloom, and it's a much bigger tree. What's going on here, right? We're going to talk about microclimates, because, see, this tree is on the south side of my house. And you'll notice it's even right behind the tallest part of the house. It's in an alcove where the garage comes out, and it's typically 10 degrees higher where this tree is than where this one is, believe it or not. Right next to each other. Planted the same day, planted exactly the same way. Everything the same, except for that. So what gives? Well, the cold northwest wind whips around the house, and this tree takes full brunt of it. So I've got a plan to try and at least get this one to bloom out a little earlier, because it's had apples. You can see there's still a couple of dead falls up there that I didn't get off last fall. I got most of it cleaned up. This tree, beautiful specimen. Oh my gosh, it looks so wonderful in the summertime. Has never had a single apple. Why? Well, it's in bloom now, April 2nd. Now, I live in planting zone 5. This is way too early. We're still going to get frosts. And no apple trees around bloom at the same time. He doesn't get pollinated. Now, this arborvitae back there, the pine tree looking creature, helps some. But let me show you what I've got going on, and hopefully in the future will help with the situation. Are up here by the arborvitae tree. A bird was up in there and pooped a mulberry several years ago. See that? I chopped it down last spring. I've chopped this mulberry down 7 times. It grows that much in a year. That's 20 feet. It's never had any fruit on it, but I get some firewood out of it in the process, and the goat sure likes to eat the mulberry leaves. That's why I left it last fall, so this spring I can chop it back down and give the leaves to the goat. Anyhow, right here, 3 years ago, I believe, I planted a Thuja green giant arborvitae, and it's kind of languished, but last year it looked really good, and I think it might really start to take off this year. I don't know what happened. They're supposed to be the fastest growing evergreen around. Supposed to, once they're established, grow 3 to 5 feet a year. And the idea is to get that cold northwest wind to go out further and around that apple tree. So maybe he'll bloom a little bit earlier and help pollinate that one a little bit. Well, that's the idea anyhow. And maybe I shouldn't have named this video Mastering Microclimates, but that's what this is all about. And using observation to try and figure out what's going on sometimes and try to come up with solutions that may or may not work. Okay, thanks for being with me. We'll get through this. Please, 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 please hit that like button, subscribe, and all that stuff. Give me a comment, what you think, and what kind of videos you want me to do. And we'll see you next time.